Hiya folks, JD here, and today we've got a recommendation. This is the TKKJ L603 and it's been recommended to us by Telephony. It has an optical flow sensor on the bottom, it's a foldable quad, a little bit like the Sima X56W. You have a camera to the front, it looks like the lens itself is going to give you quite a fisheye recording. You've got LEDs to the front, LEDs to the back, LEDs to the sides, and LEDs underneath the propeller arms. So there's going to be absolutely no issues whatsoever and you see in everything that this quadcopter is doing. And this is it. Now, it's quite a large copter, the size of your hand. Clicks out. There's no mechanism to keep these arms out, so once they're clicked out, they are out, which means when you come down, if you come down hard, you've got to make sure that you click these back out before you take her back up. On and off button to the front really does look like a lovely, lovely copter. That camera as well looks like it could be quite good. It could be, if it's not too fisheye. So with that, folks, let's get her on the mat, and then let's take this thing up. Alright, here we go. So, what we got to do first, just let me put my headgear on. Let's set up this quadcopter. Let's turn her on. Click and hold to the front. LEDs are on. Okay, fine. Let's turn her off again because that is when the gyro starts to calibrate as well. So, on, LED to the top, flashing green. At this point, we should be able to then attach her to Wi-Fi. Open Wi-Fi network called Sky Wi-Fi. We should just be able to connect to it without there being any issue. Boom, yep, that's right. Then we can open up the app. The app itself is called Wi-Fi Go. With that then, ooh, wow, okay. That was totally different. Let's turn on the transmitter. The transmitter automatically binds. That's what just kicked me in the ass. Right, okay, fine. I honestly didn't expect remote control, app control. Okay, yeah, maybe not. Let's go back, start, remote controller, there we go. When you turn this on, it vibrates. When it vibrates, it automatically binds. When you push up and down, it automatically starts the motors. So it's best to just turn her on, leave her automatically bind, and then you should be fine. So let's see if we can set these gyros. There we are, gyros, both down to the bottom right, and then the gyro set. This controller vibrates. This is great. I like this. So what I'm going to do, I am going to record some video. I'm going to record some video directly from my smartphone and directly from the quadcopter as well. So with that, folks, let's take her up. Okay, she's up. Right, she's up. We're recording a little bit. Let's see what this optical flow sensor is like. It's going to take her a while just to adjust. So she is going to move back and forth of her own volition for the time being until she finds an area just like that. Oh, optical flow, you make me smile. There is just, altitude hold is great. Barometer driven altitude hold is great. But optical flow, where you can actually, the camera can actually see, and there's a tiny camera in the underneath, when the camera can actually see what is hovering above, then that is perfect. So let's take her up a little bit higher. Oh, those LEDs at the front are flashing quite a lot. I hope that's not low battery, because she's been on charge for a long time. So let's see. Right, she's too high to automatically calibrate by the look of it. Let's put her into speed mode 2. There's no beeps with that, just a vibration of the transmitter. Oh, you can see those LEDs really quite bright, and they are flashing. So I'm hoping that, oh, now they're not. Right. Oh, now they are as they fly over me. Right, I really hope that isn't low battery. Banking this thing is wonderful. As you go to bank her around the place, there's something that sounds like it's rubbing on it. Oh, she's quite a nice flyer. Let's take her out a little bit. Let's bring her back. This is speed mode 2, by the way. So let's try it in speed mode 1. Right, as you'd expect, slow to turn, but when you bank her, then you get a nice movement, very nice movement from her. Bring it down a little bit, bank her again. Very, very nice movement from her when you take her around. So if I just show you what I'm doing, it's just banking her around, and she's banking around. Look at that, beautiful. Really, really nice. Really controlled, effortless control on her. Really nice. And if you just want to use yaw, then again, it works nice, but you're not going to get that very nice controlled movements. And then back into speed mode 2. She dips a little bit more of an attack mode from her. She seems to be okay. Wi-Fi is breaking up quite badly. Yeah, Wi-Fi is breaking up quite badly from her when you take her too far, so you do have to keep her close. Same as what we saw with another quadcopter a little while ago. But banking her in speed mode 2 is really quite nice. Now let's see if I can bring her around to me. If I bring her down a little bit, see whether that optical flow sensor wants to start reading. Oh, she's landing herself, is she? Is that the battery? That's a simple question I've got. Is that the battery? Well, the LEDs are flashing. I'm going to try and take her up again. Right, gyro's calibrated. No, that looks to be it. That looks to be the whole flight. Okay, well, I'm going to give this another go. I'm going to tell you what my verdict is after this flight, but then I'm going to fly her again. Flight-wise, she seemed to be good. You have a nice little optical flow sensor here, which when I was quite low, actually really worked really quite well. As soon as I took her up and I went a bit higher with her, she still seemed to be flying back. It's almost as if that sensor couldn't read. So if you're quite low to the ground, then you're fine. If you're up high, and she'd actually flown quite far back, it doesn't seem to read that well, or in this particular area it doesn't seem to read that well. I'll be taking it back up, I'll be having another little look at it and seeing exactly how that does. We've got the two LEDs in the front, were very bright white, no problem seeing it. As I was turning around, even in this sunlight, I could see those, no problem. This camera, it focuses really far. So if you need to see something far away, then you can see that. I would recommend, I had this focused down like this, but I would recommend you having it up straight, because then you can see out in front. Now, the bad thing I had seen about this is that there was Wi-Fi breakup when it wasn't too far away either. We've seen this before. This isn't new. It is something that's quite annoying, but if you are to use a Wi-Fi repeater, then you can obviously get your range that you want there directly out of the camera. But directly out of the box, you may come into a couple of issues with that. The folding arms, no problem. They were out nice and stiff, so when I was flying around and banking her around the place and moving her around, they weren't going to close. It did sound at one point, when I did move her around about here, that something was rubbing, and I don't quite know what that was. None of the propellers are close to touching. That was a little bit strange. All in all, though, I'm very happy with how that looks, how that feels, and just exactly how that did in the air. What I'm not happy with, battery. Now, this has been on charge for over the recommended time, slightly by about 10 minutes. Plugged her in this morning, took her up as you saw, and we had about 6 minutes out of her, if that. 6 minutes isn't too bad. Obviously, I was recording direct video as well, so hopefully it's related to that and this isn't the expected battery life out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge this up a few more times, get a few more cycles pumped into her, and then we're going to take her back up and see exactly what we've got from that. But from this first flight, from a flight perspective, very happy, very controlled in speed mode 1, 2 a little bit faster as you'd expect out of the 2 speed modes with that this comes with. Battery life is looking not so good for now, but I'll be back with it. We'll do a few more tests and see exactly how she goes. Alright then folks, thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.